To look at him now, at 73 years old, Noboru Fujita is the vision of the graying Japanese gentleman, a courtly grandfather playing tour guide for 3 American high school girls visiting Japan.
He's a very nice man, and we are very grateful to him.
43 years ago, Fujita was no Japanese gentleman. Fujita was a determined warrior, a fighter pilot smart enough to figure out how to bomb the U.S. mainland and brave enough to pull it off. He used what became known as the erector set plane. It was assembled, pontoons and all, on the deck of his submarine as it cruised off the Oregon coast. It was September 1942. His 2 firebombing missions on forest outside Brookings, Oregon, didn't accomplish very much. But it was enough to earn him a sign in the woods, a place in history, and an invitation to be the guest of honor at a festival in Brookings in 1962. This tour, 23 years later, for the 3 high schoolers, is Fujita's personal payback. Payback to the enemy that had honored him. I want to pay back the town's children, he said. They are the future. And Fujita is an old gentleman who likes what he sees in that future.
Especially after being here, and everybody is so wonderful. I don't see how we could ever have a war with you or any other country.
The tour itself was nothing special. Fujita took them to see what tourists see in Tokyo. He gave them kimonos, they gave him Oregon-grown myrtlewood gifts. But to know this man is to know that he is special. It's to know that he went bankrupt 6 years ago, and that at age 67, he took a $130 a week job to save money for this trip. Fujita is an old gentleman who keeps a promise. Fujita likes to quote a Japanese parable. Even the small light of a poor man, he says, can light up the darkest corner. He is the old soldier now, making amends for past hatreds. He is the old Japanese gentleman who has paid one last debt. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Tokyo.
He returned to Brookings, Oregon the way he first arrived, by small plane. At first meeting, one might mistake Nobu Fujita for any other Japanese tourist, but even the pilot who flew him knew better.
I pointed out Brookings to him as we went by.
And what did he say?
Well, of course he doesn't speak the language, but I could see on his face he knew where he was at.
His is a story 48 years in the making, one of honor and courage, in peace and in war.
The mission scared the daylight out of me. I did not think I would come back alive.
It was September 9th, 1942.
Just one of those things. It was wartime, and we didn't think that it would ever happen on our coast.
Brookings postal worker Helen Riling was in high school back then. She remembers the sound of a plane and searching for it from her front porch.
There were some that said, oh, it sounds like a tin can. It's got to be a Jap plane. I know by the sound of it, it was a Jap plane, but not me.
She heard Nobu Fujita in a seaplane flying from a Japanese submarine 50 miles off the Oregon coast, a young pilot on a daring mission ordered by the Imperial Naval Command.
I just followed orders and knew nothing about Brookings. I was trembling with fear when I flew over.
Until Fujita launched his raid, no enemy had ever reached American soil in a time of war. His mission to set the forest on fire with incendiaries. The first bomb exploded, but the blaze didn't spread. The second bomb is still somewhere in these coastal mountains. It has never been found.
And this is Elmo Williams, Mr. Fujita.
But times change, and towns, and people.
Arigato.
When the war ended, Mr. Fujita did well with a hardware business near Tokyo. Well, back in Oregon, Brookings prospered too. From 300 residents in 1942, it has grown to 18,000 today. And in those years, the city and the old soldier have become very good friends.
This is replica of when he bombed the Brookings Harbor coastline, of how he did it.
What kind of sandwich?
A submarine sandwich with a Japanese airplane.
This friendship began nervously in 1962 when Mr. Fujita came as guest of honor for the Brookings Azalea Festival.
I did not know how people would react to me. I thought they would throw stones or eggs or worse.
Instead, Brookings embraced Fujita, and in a gesture of goodwill, he left the city his family's 400-year-old samurai sword.
It's very well preserved here.
Hi, dear.
And there was something else he left during that visit, a promise that he'd bring Brookings' children to Japan as his guests. But that visit didn't happen for 23 years because after returning home, Mr. Fujita's business failed. He became penniless.
You know, he took that job as a janitor and worked his way up just to bring us over there because that was the promise that he made. Worked for 20 years to do that.
And so it has come to pass that the warrior now thinks of his target as a second home. At this year's festival, the mayor proclaimed Nobu Fujita Day.
I feel very proud and happy. This is the greatest moment of my life.
And while not everyone can forget the war,
we beat them, and we'll always beat them.
With each generation, bitterness fades and his legacy grows, not as the pilot who bombed Brookings, but as a kindred citizen and friend. From Brookings, Oregon, Wayne Friedman, CBS This Morning.